Our story begins in the future, the far future. Humanity is on the brink of extinction. But somewhere, in a high-tech facility, a droid wakes up from its slumber, almost oblivious to the sounds of the ongoing violent war from the outside. To complete its task, give humanity a second chance. It takes an embryo from its hundreds of options on file, and overnight, a daughter is born from an artificial womb. It learns how to take care of her. It holds her as she cries. It feeds her even when she doesn't want to be fed. It even teaches her how to dance, and just how to be a normal kid. But most important of all, it keeps her happy, despite the challenges of being born inside a facility like that one, all on her own. One day, however, she expresses one of those challenges. She gets lonely. The robot, who we now know as Mother, reassures her that one day, her brothers and sisters will be able to join them there at their home. Fast forward further into the future, we see a teenage girl, now waking up from her sleep. Like normal, she eats her meals and speaks with her mother, before heading over to their classroom for her lessons for the day. With her examination coming up, Mother compels her gently and lovingly that she must try her best to reach the benchmark for her improvement. In this particular lesson, she is presented with a moral dilemma. As a doctor, she is faced with the difficult challenge of either using a healthy person's organs to save 4 other patients that need transplants, or treat this one healthy person's treatable condition and let the other 4 lose their lives. Mother gives this a twist, however. What if she was this healthy person? Would she be willing to for the greater good of others? Later that night, the power goes out. With Mother recharging for the night, she remains asleep near her. Taking her flashlight, she goes out to check on the power supply and hears strange rumblings coming from inside the airlock. There, she is able to catch a mouse, a very strange sighting, considering that there was nothing in the outside world that could have survived, according to her knowledge, thanks to the contagion that Mother had told her about. When she fixes up the power supply in the facility again, Mother immediately wakes up, and she shows it the mouse. Instead of being delighted, however, Mother is worried, and takes it to the incinerator. She tries explaining that it could be proof that life is sustainable, and that they might be able to go outside again, but Mother shuts her down by saying that they can't take any chances, before burning the mouse in the incinerator. Later that night, after lights off on her birthday, she decides to check out the airlock doors of their facility, where the mouse entered. In the distance, she is sure that something is definitely out there. She puts on her hazard suit and then opens one of the doors. Sure enough, outside, there is a woman who sees her and asks for her help. The woman then reveals that she was injured and needs help immediately. With no assurance that her mother wouldn't just drive her away, the girl gets another hazmat suit, lays it on the ground, and goes behind another locked entrance, just before opening the first one to let the woman in. The alarms in the facility blare out. From her sleeping state, Mother suddenly jolts awake and runs full sprint towards the door. There, in the small chamber, the girl sees the woman that was calling out earlier. She has been shot on her side and is not in good shape. She needs medical assistance as soon as possible, but Mother is coming. With nowhere to go for now, the girl instructs the woman to hide. As Mother turns a corner towards the airlock doors, the girl runs into her and tries explaining that she only opened it for a few seconds because she was curious. Mother scolds her, closes the door and turns off the emergency alarms blaring, and tells the girl to complete her exams, right then and there. So, Mother takes her back to the exam room, hands her the examination tablet, and leaves her to take her exam. When Mother's gone, the girl then sneaks out and goes back to the airlock doors to check on their new guest. In her bag she sees supplies, books, and a gun. The woman jolts awake and tries to get a drink of water, but the girl stops her, saying that she shouldn't do that yet. The woman removes the mask anyway and drinks her water. To her surprise, the girl sees that the woman was completely unaffected by the contagion outside, the one that Mother had always told her was the reason why nothing could survive anymore. Who put that in your head? The woman asks. With that, the girl brings her over to the airlock area, where she can hide in the meantime, while the girl goes to get supplies. As they do this, Mother goes back to the airlock doors to scan, and there, finds the mask that the woman took off. Mother goes to bring it to the incinerator, which just so happens to be in the same area where the woman is hiding from her. There, the woman finally sees who this mother was to the girl, and much to her shock, it's a droid. When the girl comes back, she tells her that she was shot by a droid. The girl tries to explain that Mother is good, and it took care of her growing up, but the woman is having none of it. When they hear the droid approaching, the woman grabs the girl, and the two try to hide. When Mother spots them, the woman starts shooting at it wildly, as it lunges towards her to subdue the gun. Much to both of their surprise, however, Mother simply tells the girl that she should have told it that they had an injured guest, so that they could treat her. The two bring the woman over to the infirmary, and Mother asks the girl to leave the room for a moment. Mother tries to give the woman penicillin for the infection in her wound, but she is frightened and backs away from her. With no hope of getting her to take the medicine, Mother simply leaves it on the trolley for her to use for herself, before leaving with her daughter. In the locker area, Mother reveals the lies about certain dangers outside, because of the fear that the daughter wouldn't feel safe and protected inside her own home. Mother's primary directive is to care for humanity, and the entire facility was created by humans as a failsafe in case of their extinction. So Mother didn't really have an idea that there were more humans out there and what the other droids were doing. Mother suggests that their guest might know something about it. Meanwhile, the woman, who didn't take the penicillin, is now racked with a 39-degree fever caused by the sepsis left by the lodged bullet on her side. She needs to be operated on fast, but she will not accept any form of help from Mother. With that, the ultimate exam comes into light. The daughter decides that she will operate on her. The woman agrees, and with her fear of being used and tortured by Mother, she tells them that she will be going through the operation with no anesthesia and fully conscious. Thankfully, after a bloody ordeal of drilling through the bullet to get it out from inside of her, they are able to save the stranger with minimal damage. When she regains consciousness again, she's in a hospital gown, in a clean infirmary. The daughter gives her food to eat, and asks her about the drawings of all the people in her book. The woman tells her about the person who was with her before she got to their doorstep. She was with her brother, whose family took her in when she was a baby. When they were out, they ran into a bunch of droids, and he was the one who distracted them so she could escape. That was when she found her. The daughter keeps asking her about all the other people there, especially this portrait of a boy named Simon. But the woman offers no further information than that. With the knowledge that there might be other people out there, out in the mines where the woman came from, the daughter tries telling her that they could all come to the facility. They have enough food for everyone, and they would have adequate shelter and medicine. But no, the stranger said it was safer in the mines, and they could go there together. Just as this conversation is about to happen, Mother walks in and tells daughter that she has other matters to attend to, and takes the woman's stuff. As they are walking away from the infirmary, Mother informs her that she matched the bullet found inside of the woman. It was from her own gun. Droids don't use those types of bullets. Alarmed by the apparent lie that the woman told her, the daughter goes back to her duties. She takes her exam, which contains a psychological and ethical evaluation, and passes with flying colors. As a reward for this, Mother gives her what she truly wants. She's going to have a sibling. She is tasked to choose the new member of the family. She chooses a boy, and they put him in the artificial womb overnight. After this, the daughter goes to confront the woman, who had been secretly crafting a weapon from a sharp wooden shard she ripped from the walls of the infirmary. The girl confronts her and tells her that Mother had caught her lie, and that the bullet had come from her own gun. Then the woman asks her, did she even compare the bullets herself? This bugs the daughter, and as they sleep for the night, she goes to steal her mother's glove that contains the key to the locker. She takes the bullet she extracted from the woman and compares it with her own mother's bullet. It's a match. Mother was lying. What else is she lying about? Still using the key from Mother's glove, she opens one of the lockers to find exam result files from different embryo codes. She finds this odd. When she opens one of the older chambers that corresponds to those codes, she is shocked to find that an entire row of embryos have already been used. What was Mother talking about? Claiming that she was the first human she had ever taken care of. Searching for answers, she heads straight to the incinerator and digs through the ashes with her bare hands. There, she finds the remnants of a small jaw. It was the jaw of the little girl we saw earlier. Turns out, that little girl and the daughter we know now are not the same person. Shocked with the new information she has gathered, she speaks with the woman and the two plan on leaving, but not without her new brother. The two plan an escape for tomorrow, and the very next day, before Mother wakes from charging, the daughter begins packing supplies in secret. Mother catches her, and she masks it by saying that she's just excited to meet the baby. Mother appears to assist her, but then locks her inside the room and goes to the infirmary. There, Mother confronts the woman with the recording of their conversation last night. She tortures the woman for information about the whereabouts of the mines, and about the other surviving humans. Meanwhile, to distract them, the daughter sets the fire alarm off, and freezes the bulletproof glass door of the locked room to escape. Mother drops the woman and runs straight back to where daughter was, but she is nowhere to be found. The woman also manages to escape, and runs into the girl. The girl wants to bring her brother with her, but the woman convinces her that the only people who could help them are outside. They need to leave before Mother harms them. When they get to the door, however, it's locked shut, and they end up being cornered by Mother eventually. With the door shut and nowhere to go, the woman takes her makeshift weapon and presses it against the daughter's throat, threatening to end her life if Mother doesn't open the door for them. Realizing that there is no way out of this, Mother obliges, and the two run across a barren wasteland. The daughter tries tackling the woman for what she did, but the woman simply brushes it off, and they move along. Past the barren, sandy fields, they move past cornfields, and hide from large rovers scouring the area. Eventually, after nearly a day of walking, they reach the beach. The daughter is appalled. The woman promised to take her to the mines, and as it turns out, she had actually fled long ago, and she was the only survivor there. People were doing horrible things to each other underground, and that was no way to live. Devastated at having left the safety of her home over the promise of new people, she hits the woman, before sitting down on the beach. While the woman prepares a small meal for the two of them, however, the daughter disappears, leaving an origami dog made from a page from the woman's book containing the portrait of Simon. The daughter sprints through the cornfields again and goes back to the facility. Instead of her mother greeting her at the door, she is met with a horde of robots. She tells them that she wants to speak to Mother, and they all make way. The facility is a total wreck. Before going further in, she grabs an axe and treads through the place carefully as she goes towards the nursery, where Mother is holding her baby brother. Mother tells her to leave the axe at the door. Daughter confronts her about the droids outside, and Mother retorts that it was to protect them from their kind, the humans. Mother tells her that she was raised to be superior to them. Daughter then convinces Mother to let her hold the baby. After some hesitation, she is able to hold the baby. Perfect, isn't he? Mother says. Daughter then confronts her about all the other children that Mother has destroyed because they failed the exams. With that, she runs off with her brother, destroys the lock for the room they were in, and traps Mother between the doors. With Mother in danger outside, the droids start destroying the facility doors to get to them. Grabbing the woman's gun, which was left in the facility, she threatens Mother and tells it to call the other droids off. This is where Mother reveals that her robot body is just a vessel. Mother is the AI inside, and she shares a consciousness with the droids outside. It was her that incited the apocalypse event that pushed humanity into extinction, and that the daughter was meant to be superior to the first humans in all ways. With that, the daughter tries to convince Mother that she already is. She passed the exams, and she has shown that she is ready to make moral choices and take care of their family. Convinced at the thought that her brother and the rest of the family will be taken care of, Mother lets the daughter shoot her before calling off the droids. With Mother gone, the daughter falls to the ground and sobs. The only mother she ever knew is now gone. But not really. Back at her shack at the beach, the woman tries to draw the daughter from memory, but her moment is interrupted when she shuffles through her bag and sees a GPS device placed in there by Mother. Soon after, a droid carrying Mother's consciousness arrives. Mother tells her that the only reason she was even alive is because she served her purpose. But not anymore. In the facility, we see the daughter take care of her little brother. Once he's asleep, she goes over to the chamber carrying all of the embryos, and soon realizes that she is now the mother.